Have you ever found yourself just wishing you could clone yourself? I mean, seriously. Imagine for a moment having like an army of users working tirelessly, handling customer inquiries, maybe churning out endless content, or just managing all those business tasks around the clock. Now, for those of you already familiar with ChatGPT, you know its power as a generalist tool, but today we're taking you way beyond that surface level. While most people are still just, scratching the surface with it, there's this quiet revolution happening. Savvy business owners, they're already building these, well, armies of hyper-specialized AI assistants. And these aren't just clever bots, right? They work 24/7, they generate content in your unique brand voice, they automate sales processes, and get this, are even opening up entirely new streams of passive income. And the absolute best part, you don't need to write a single line of code.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. The real game changer here was back in November 2023. OpenAI launched this feature that, well, it basically split the user world in two. Suddenly, you had these two distinct groups. Folks who just kept using standard ChatGPT, the regular version, and then others who immediately jumped into creating their own custom GPTs. To put this in perspective, it's kind of like moving from hiring a multi-talented generalist, someone who can do a bit of everything.
Right, the jack of all trades.
Exactly, to assembling a really highly specialized team. Standard ChatGPT is that generalist. It knows a lot about, well, everything, but it doesn't have any deep understanding of your specific business.
Okay, so that analogy of a specialized employee, that really hits home. But what's the biggest challenge then in making it feel like a genuine team member, not just some, sophisticated tool? Where do people typically fall short?
Oh. That's a great question. The key really is in the training. These custom GPTs, they're like specialized employees trained exclusively for you. They gain this deep understanding of your specific industry, your workflows, your unique ways of doing things. They can even learn to communicate in your unique voice, your brand personality. And crucially, they retain knowledge permanently from the documents you feed them. It essentially turns your company's proprietary knowledge into a digital brain.
A digital brain, I like that.
And because they operate nonstop, 24/7, they actually get smarter over time with every single interaction.
Huh. So it sounds like we're moving from just sort of asking an AI tool questions to genuinely training an AI team member. Is this really the democratization of AI at a personal level, like making it accessible even for, say, a solo entrepreneur without a heavy tech background?
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. This capability lets a single entrepreneur replicate their own genius, their proprietary processes, their specific brand voice, and they could do that across potentially thousands of interactions at the same time, all without hiring a massive team or, like you said, writing a single line of code. It's the ultimate scalability of you.
Wow.
So the natural question becomes, okay, how can you, the listener, join this creators group and actually build an AI assistant from scratch?
And that's precisely our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? We're going to guide you through it step by step. We'll also reveal some of the real-world applications that are currently generating profit right now. Things like automating customer service, producing content nonstop, qualifying leads, analyzing documents, and even, generating passive income through the GPT store. Our goal here is to give you a really clear, actionable guide, basically a significant shortcut so you're well informed on this frankly transformative AI capability. Okay, so what you actually need to get started building your own AI assistant. There are a few, let's call them mandatory requirements. First, you need a ChatGPT Plus subscription. That's about, $20 a month? That's your entry ticket. Second, and this is crucial, strategic thinking. You absolutely must define the business goal of your GPT. What specific problem is it going to solve? Who is it for? The target audience. And third, your intellectual property. This is the brain. You'll give your assistant any document, process, or piece of knowledge you want it to learn.
Right. And beyond those mandatory things, there are some highly recommended elements that really elevate your AI. Think about your brand identity kit, for example. Your guidelines on voice, tone, style, even specific phrasing you always use.
Ah, so the personality stuff.
Exactly. Template scripts for customer service or sales emails can be invaluable too. Oh, and content examples like your best performing blog posts or marketing materials. These things give the AI the specific nuances, the character of your operation.
Okay. So if that vision of a tireless AI team member working 24/7 sounds like the answer to, well, your overflowing inbox or your endless content needs, let's break down exactly how you can bring that to life, starting with the very first click. Step one is super simple, just accessing the GPT creation interface. Log into your ChatGPT Plus account. That's chat.openai.com. Then in the left-hand sidebar, you'll find and click on GPTs. Actually, take a few minutes just to explore what others are building there. It's a fantastic source of inspiration, really. Then click the Type plus Create button in the top right corner.
Right. And once you're in, you'll immediately see two sort of distinct paths. There's a chat-based create option, the one with conversation, where you basically describe what you want to the GPT builder. It asks you questions. And then there's a more hands-on configure panel, the manual configuration, for direct input and fine-tuning.
Okay, 2 ways in.
Yeah. For the best initial results, I'd say start by chatting in that create tab. Just describe your idea. The GPT builder will then automatically populate the fields in the configure tab for you. Then you switch over to configure for the really precise fine-tuning and full control over your assistant's brain. And having a really well-structured prompt template in the instructions field of that configure tab is, well, it's crucial here.
Which brings us neatly to steps 3 and 4, crafting the digital DNA. You called it the master prompt structure. You said this is the absolute most critical step, like determining 90% of its effectiveness. Why is that so important?
It really is. Because these large language models, a clear hierarchical prompt acts like its very own operating system. Think of it that way. It ensures predictable, high-quality outputs because it defines the AI's entire functional universe. You need to provide an extremely clear and detailed set of instructions.
Like a job description for a superstar employee.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
But instead of just a long paragraph, you use a clear, structured format, hierarchical. So to put this in perspective, crafting that master prompt is essentially like writing the operating system for your AI assistant. For instance, you'll have a role and persona section. Here you define its core identity, its specialization, personality, target audience, maybe something like StrategyBot 5000, an analytical, encouraging expert, specifically for early-stage SaaS startups. You get really specific. Then, core directives and capabilities. This outlines its main function, its problem-solving method. For example, maybe it always starts by asking clarifying questions, or it always uses a specific methodology like lean startup. You also define its interaction style. Maybe it should be proactive, always suggesting next steps.
That's incredibly powerful for defining its core essence. And then you get into things like knowledge base and resources, right? Where you specify its primary sources, like telling it to prioritize a specific PDF, say lean startup methodology.pdf, and maybe when it can use external knowledge versus just its internal brain.
Precisely. And you also define response formatting, structure, language, key elements it should always include. And finally, very important, boundaries and limitations. What it absolutely should not do, like don't provide financial or legal advice.
Setting those guardrails.
Exactly. So once its digital DNA is defined, the next logical step, step 5, is equipping it with the practical tools and knowledge it needs. Let's call them its superpowers.
Yeah.
Back in that Configure tab, you can enable features like Web Browse for internet access, DLE for image generation.
Oh, cool. So it can make pictures, too.
Yep. And advanced data analysis for handling complex calculations or analyzing data you upload. For more advanced users, there's even actions. This lets you connect it to external APIs. Think of APIs as like secure digital bridges.
Bridges
Bridges that allow your GPT to seamlessly integrate and swap information with other software you already use, maybe your CRM, your calendar, whatever. But this is also where the real magic happens. Upload knowledge files. This is where you upload your core documents, training materials, standard operating procedures, FAQs, product docs, case studies, your brain dump.
Gotcha. So once you've given it its brain and its superpowers, step 6 is creating a professional profile for it. Sounds straightforward. Give it a memorable name, a concise description of what it does, its key capabilities, and a profile picture. You even mentioned using DALL-E right there in the interface to create a unique image, like a minimalist logo maybe.
Yeah, exactly. A brain combined with a gear or something relevant to its function makes it feel more polished. But here's where it gets really interesting and honestly where a lot of people skimp. Step 7, testing thoroughly, ruthlessly. Before you even think about publishing, you need to put your GPT through its paces. Don't just ask it simple questions.
Right, kick the tires properly.
Absolutely. Use what I call a competency check prompt. Something like, hello, assistant name, introduce yourself. Detail your role, expertise, and core capabilities. Then give me 3 specific examples of requests you can handle effectively. See if it matches your instructions.
Okay.
Then conduct a stress test. This involves testing its knowledge, its personality consistency, its boundaries, ask it those off-limits questions you defined, and test edge cases, give it ambiguous requests. This whole process helps you identify the gaps and then go back and refine your instructions.
Makes sense. And then finally, step 8, publish and share. What are the options there?
You basically have 3 sharing levels. Only me. That's for when you're still developing it. Anyone with a link, great for sharing with your team or maybe some trusted customers to get feedback.
Oh, like a beta test.
Exactly. And then there's public, which puts it out there, the GPT store, for anyone to find and use. For business use, I generally recommend starting with anyone with a link, get that feedback, refine it based on real interactions, and then consider making it public if that fits your strategy.
Okay, this is all super helpful. Building it sounds exciting, but you also mentioned pitfalls. What are the common mistakes people make that we should try to avoid?
Oh yeah, definitely some common traps. Mistake number 1 is being way too generic in the instructions. Don't just say, you are a marketing assistant. That's useless.
Mm.
Be specific. You are a B2B marketing expert specializing in content strategy for tech companies operating in the Southeast Asian market. Your tone is professional, yet approachable. See the difference?
Huge difference. That's much clearer. What's mistake number 2?
Vague, non-actionable instructions. Don't just say, help users with business problems. How? Instead, define its role and the action it should take. Act as a mentor who has successfully founded 3 SaaS companies. Always end your answers with specific, immediately actionable steps. Don't just give theory, provide a concrete plan.
Okay, actionable steps, not just theory. Got it.
And mistake number 3, forgetting smart conversation starters. A blank GPT chat window. It's less effective, kind of intimidating. You should display suggested prompts right there. Things like, where should I start my first online ad campaign? Or, help me analyze this competitor's website. Guide the user.
Right, give them a starting point.
Exactly. And a crucial consideration here is, how do you make sure it stays effective over time?
Yeah, that leads perfectly into mistake number 4, doesn't it? The old set it and forget it mentality.
Bingo. The world changes, your business changes, new products, new policies. Your GPT needs to keep up. You should schedule regular, maybe monthly, performance reviews. Look at the conversation history. What questions are common? Where is it giving incorrect answers? And critically, update its knowledge base with your new products, services, or internal policies. It needs ongoing maintenance.
Like any good employee, really, it needs updates and training.
Precisely. And finally, mistake number 5. Not intentionally testing for failure.
Mm.
You need to actively try to break it, but in a safe test environment. Ask it silly questions. Give it contradictory or false information. See how it handles errors, how it recovers, or if it gets confused, we'll show you the gaps in your instructional prompt. Then you can go back and patch those gaps, making it much more robust and reliable in the real world.
Okay, trying to break it to make it stronger. I like that. So now that we've covered the how-to and the what not to do, let's talk about some real actionable use cases. Things people can deploy, like today.
Yeah, let's get practical. First up, imagine the tireless salesperson. Its mission. Qualify leads 24/7, answer product questions instantly, maybe even book appointments directly into your calendar.
The benefit seems obvious. Never miss a potential customer, even at 2 a.m.
Exactly. And you'd implement this by uploading your sales scripts, really detailed product information, maybe your pricing tiers, and your standard appointment booking process or link. A sample starting prompt could offer might be something like, welcome to your company name. I'm an AI assistant specializing in our products. To best assist you, could you let me know if you're looking for a solution for yourself, an individual, or for a larger business? Getting context right away.
Nice. Okay, what's another one?
How about the content creation machine? Its mission is pretty clear. Write blog posts, social media updates, email marketing campaigns, all that stuff.
Okay, but how consistent can it really be across all those different platforms and formats?
That's the goal. The benefit is maintaining remarkable consistency in your content and brand voice, potentially saving dozens of hours every single week. You'd feed it examples of your absolute best content, your voice and tone guidelines we talked about earlier, maybe a list of approved topics or keywords to explore. A starting prompt could be, all right, let's get creative. Would you like help generating a blog post designed to attract new customers, perhaps a series of engaging posts for Instagram, or maybe even a short video script outline?
I can see how that saves time. What about support? Could it handle that?
Definitely. The technical support specialist mission. Provide instant answers to common technical issues or how-to questions. The benefit. You can seriously reduce support tickets for common problems and hopefully increase customer satisfaction with instant help.
Yeah, less waiting time for customers.
Right. Implementation involves uploading troubleshooting guides, technical documentation, comprehensive FAQs about your product or service. Its opening prompt might be, hello there, how can I help with the technical issue you're facing today? Please describe the problem you're encountering, or just let me know the name of the product you are using.
Okay, sales, content, support. What else?
Well, something particularly powerful, especially for scalability, is the personal learning coach. Its mission could be to provide a personalized learning path for a course, explain complex concepts in simple terms, maybe even quiz users, and give feedback.
So, like for onboarding new employees or maybe customer training.
Exactly. It offers a really scalable, consistent training experience. You'd upload your course materials, evaluation criteria, learning objectives, key concepts. A starting prompt could sound like, "Welcome to the course name Onboarding. Ready to dive in? Would you like to start with the first lesson, review a specific concept you're stuck on, or perhaps try a short quiz to check your understanding?"
That's really interesting. One more.
Let's do the community manager, its mission. Hang out in your community forum, maybe a Facebook group or Discord server, answer frequently asked questions, and gently guide discussions. The benefit here is boosting engagement and keeping the community feeling vibrant and supported, even when you can't be there personally 24/7.
Take some load off the real human moderators.
For sure. You'd implement this by uploading community guidelines, a list of common questions and their approved answers, and maybe some templates for friendly, welcoming responses. Its prompt could be, "Hey everyone, welcome to our community. Are you a new member just joining us, or are you looking for information on a specific topic? Let me know how I can help."
These are great concrete examples. Really shows the potential.
And, stepping back for just a moment, for the real power users, there are even more advanced tips to squeeze out extra performance. For instance, something I call the Socratic greeting strategy. Instead of just offering choices, you program your GPT to start with a really deep, open-ended question. Something that immediately helps classify the user and their needs. Like, "Before we dive in, could you tell me what the single biggest challenge you're facing in your marketing efforts is right now?"
Ah, so it probes deeper from the get-go.
Exactly. It's subtle, but it's a powerful way to gather immediate, relevant context for the rest of the conversation.
That's brilliant. What else for power users?
Intelligent document curation. This is huge. Don't just dump everything you have into the knowledge upload. Think quality over quantity. A poorly scanned, messy 100-page PDF is actually less effective than a clean, well-formatted text file or document containing just the most crucial, concise knowledge.
So curation matters. Be selective with the brain food.
Precisely. Garbage in, garbage out still applies, even with AI.
Makes sense. Any others?
Yeah, one more critical one. Create a dedicated feedback loop. Don't just rely on checking the chat logs yourself. Actively, regularly ask users for feedback within the chat itself, maybe at the end of a session. "Was this answer helpful? Is there anything you'd like me to improve?" And then crucially, use that feedback to continuously refine your main instructional prompt and the knowledge base. It's about continuous improvement.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot. You just completed a really deep dive into understanding these custom AI assistants, haven't you? From the basic ideas to the practical steps, even the common pitfalls. You genuinely now possess the core knowledge to start building your own, well, army of intelligent assistants.
And that really does bring a significant competitive advantage.
Yeah.
It positions you right at the forefront of this ongoing AI revolution. But what's particularly powerful here, I think, is the ultimate purpose. It's important to remember, these tools aren't really about replacing human creativity or relationships, not at all. They're fundamentally about scaling your expertise,
Yeah.
your unique knowledge, allowing you to reach and help more people much more effectively and, yeah, around the clock.
And it feels like what you've learned today is really just the beginning, isn't it? The AI industry is moving so fast, seemingly towards autonomous agents.
Oh, absolutely. The horizon is shifting rapidly. To put this next step in perspective, think about agents that can execute complex, multi-step tasks. Imagine commanding an AI, research my top 5 competitors online, summarize their current marketing strategies, and then create a comparative presentation for me.
Whoa.
Yeah. And these agents will connect seamlessly with your favorite apps, Asana, Gmail, Salesforce, you name it. They'll even be able to make independent decisions within the limits you set, of course, based on the goals you give them. And the kicker, they'll learn and evolve automatically from every single interaction, every task they perform. We're talking about a dramatic move from simple Q&A, like we have now, to actual task execution and potentially full business process automation.
Okay, the future sounds intense. But let's bring it back to right now. Your call to action for everyone listening. Turn this knowledge into action. What can you do immediately, like in the next 30 minutes? Create your very first custom GPT using the steps we outlined. It doesn't have to be perfect. Test it with that competency check prompt we discussed. And then share the anyone with a link version with a trusted colleague or friend. Get that first bit of feedback.
Right. Then, this week, take action. Upload some of your most valuable business documents at core knowledge. Test your GPT with realistic customer scenarios or tasks. And gather more structured feedback, maybe from a small group of internal users or from the customers.
Okay, 30 months this week. What about this month?
This month,
Yeah.
refine your GPT. Use that real usage data and feedback you've gathered. Make it better. Seriously, consider publishing it to the GPT store, especially if it solves a common problem. It's a chance, maybe small, but real, to generate some passive income. And importantly, start brainstorming other specialized GPTs you could build for different parts of your business. One for sales, one for support, one for onboarding.
Build that army.
Build that army. The businesses that are truly going to thrive in the next decade, they will be the ones that learn to work with AI, not fight against it.
So let's end with a final provocative thought for you, the listener. Building on everything we've discussed, what problem will your first AI assistant solve? The immense potential is genuinely now in your hands. Whether you need a tireless sales assistant, a brand-consistent content creator, or an instant customer service rep, the tools are there. The question really is, what will you build?